wash day isn't always pretty. Sometimes there are tears, wiggles, and big feelings. But with the right techniques, patience, and a little love, hair time can actually become bonding time. Welcome to Mommy and Me, where we make hair care simple for busy moms like us. Hello everyone, and welcome to Mommy and Me. We are in episode 5. Yes, episode 5. So tonight's Mommy and Me class is going to cover two-strand twists with hair added. In our last episode, we covered two-strand twists on natural hair. But this episode, we are leveling it up a little bit more just to give you some more knowledge on protective styles that can last your child 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so this style with two-strand twists, although natural two-strand twists can last 4 to 6 weeks as well, this just gives you a little extra volume, thickness, or even length. So a lot of kids like to get this with hair added because they want to add length to it where they can be able to put it up and style it in many different ways. So we're going to cover two-strand twists with hair added. I don't want to hold you long. We're going to get right into it. So first things first, we're going to cover some of the things that you may need. So I have my detangle brush. I also have a wide tooth comb. Then I have my parting combs, whichever kind you want, that's fine. I have some clips for sectioning. I have braid gel. I have 2 different ones. I explained this in, I think, the 3rd episode of the difference between and why I use what I use. And then I have mousse and leave-in conditioner and scissors. And last but not least, the hair that I will be using is the Expression Twisted Up Springy Afro Twist hair. I love this hair. This is my favorite. I've tried other kinds, but I really love this one. They have it in different lengths. This is 16 inch. They have it in 12, 16, 10, I believe. 24, so they have different lengths. And I will, well, let's go ahead and go over to the lengths, okay? 16 inch is going to give you long past the shoulders. However, it does allow you the option to cut if you need to cut. If you want something maybe shoulder length, then I will go with the 10 or 12. If you want something a little bit longer, the 16 or the 24. However, we will be using this hair half. So half of 16 is about 8 inches, but it's going to give you a lot of length, okay? So I don't typically cut this hair in half. You can, but I don't typically cut it in half. I use the whole piece. So I think that the 14 to 16 inch is a good length for kids, okay? So that's a little bit of the products and things that I'm going to use, all right? So what I am going to do is I am going to show you a few different ways because I know that you're not a professional. I know you may not be like me. So I'm going to show you a few different ways of how you can achieve this look so that you can get these twists in and it looks like they went to the salon. So you're going to also need a crochet needle depending on the technique that you use to insert these twists. All right, so let's get into it. All right. So I am going to, and I thought about this as I was going to get started. I will do another video this week or next week just to go over parting, like how to part for any type of braids, just to give you a guide on your parting, okay? So right now what I did was I just parted around the nape from left to right, and then I'm gonna just take these sections and create my twist, okay? All right, so the first technique that I want to show you is to braid it at the root and then twist it, okay? So when you take your packaging of your two-strand twist out of the package, it's going to look like this, okay? Each twist has a tight coil at the ends, all right? What you're going to do is you're going to break this in half. So take half of it and you're going to split it. one piece is going to be 2 twists for you. Okay? So you're going to split that hair in half. All right? So now what I'm going to do next is I have my half. I am going to split that half again. All right, so now I have 2 pieces. Now, mind you, this is with the braid at the root, and then we're going to twist, okay? This is my most popular way of how to add this hair to the natural hair, okay? So now that I have these 2 pieces, I'm going to hold my hand out. I'm going to lay one piece just like this, and then I'm going to lay the other piece the opposite way. So it's going to be like a T. So lay one, and that's going to give me a T, right? So now I have my T, and now I'm going to pick up those 2 sides, and this is going to be 1 piece, 2, 3. So these are going to be my 3 pieces for my braid. We got that? I'm going to do it one more time. All right, I'm going to hold my hand out. I'm going to lay the hair on my hand like so. And then I'm going to lay another piece the opposite way. All right, and I'm going to take the piece, bring those together. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. So when you hold it, it should be like that. Okay? All right, so now this is my 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to position my fingers like so. I'm going to hold with my middle and my index, turn it over, and then I'm going to hold with my thumb. And my index. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me do that again, because I gave y'all the wrong fingers, okay? I'm going to take my middle finger, and I'm going to hold it with my ring finger, and I'm going to twist my hand, and then I'm going to grab with my index and my thumb. So now I have 1 piece that's loose. This is grip tight. This is grip tight, okay? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the natural hair in half in 2 pieces. All right, I am going to grab 1 piece in between my index and my thumb. And then I'm going to take that top piece that's hanging loose, and I am going to attach it to the other piece. So now I have my 2 pieces. All right, I'm going to take my right hand, and I am going to go in between my index and my thumb and my ring finger and my pinky. I'm going to go in between that, and then I'm going to begin to braid. I'm going to make sure that I hold my hands very close at the scalp as I braid. And I'm going to do this about 4 or 5 times. Then I'm going to come to a stop, because now I have to bring the pieces of hair together. So let's go right here. These 2 pieces of hair were the ones I had sandwiched together. But then these are the 2 pieces that I had divided up. So now I have to bring them back together so that the twist can be even. All right. So I have to make sure that when I stop with my braid, that I can bring those 2 pieces back together. And then what I like to do is I like to twist, a little twist, just to lock it in. And now I can continue to twist down. Now, I know for a fact that this way might have sounded complicated for a first timer. If you are a parent that already knows how to incorporate braiding hair, you can do it the way that you normally do it. Just make sure that you bring those two pieces back together and they have to be even. One thing about this hair, you need to make sure that you twist it all the way down. So you keep twisting until you cannot twist anymore. And then when I get to the end, I'll twist it over my fingers and let go. And boom, that's your first twist, okay? I know it was hard. I know it was complicated. I know you're going to have to watch this over and over again. And one thing that I need for you to understand when it comes to braiding, and especially adding hair, or if you're new to braiding, you're going to have to repeat. You're going to have to, I teach you my way, but the more that you practice and the more that you do, the more that you go over it, you will get the wing of how you do it, okay? All right? So that's how you would braid at the root and twist down at the bottom. Trust me, I know it was complicated, but I'm about to show you an easier way, okay? So that's my first method. All right, my second method. All right, now we're gonna go to the second method. Now, my second method, we're gonna use our crochet needle. And what I want you to do is I want you to take your child's hair first and go ahead and make a plait. It does not have to be tight. It does not have to be cute. Just make a plait. Now, we're not gonna plait all the way down. We're just gonna plait a little bit of it, okay? Again, it does not have to be tight and it does not have to be cute because you are about to hide this braid anyway, okay? So now that we have our braid, just did a braid, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the other half of hair that I had earlier. Remember I split it into two to make two twists? This is the other half. So now I'm going to take my crochet needle, and this is a crochet needle. If you are unaware what a crochet needle is, it has a leverage right here that goes up and down, okay? So this leverage goes up and down. You open and close it, okay? When you first go into the hair, you want to have it open, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my crochet needle, have it open, and I am going to insert it at the base of that braid, and I'm going to go down. Now, it is still open. Crochet needle is still open. Now I'm going to take that piece of hair, and I'm going to insert it inside that crochet needle, just like this. And then I'm going to close that leverage. You have to close it before you pull it up. So once I close it, now I'm going to pull that crochet needle up. And I'm going to take it out. And now, where I have a loop right here, I'm going to hold one piece. And then I'm going to pull the rest of it up. So I'm only pulling one side. As you see, you should be able to move it up and down just like that, okay? Now, I'm going to make sure that both sides are even. All right, you can lay one piece up if you want to. Now, what we're going to do is take that other piece and we're going to kind of like sandwich the hair so it kind of hides the braid, okay? So what I did was I just split it in half. And I just took it and I just covered up that hair, right? So once I do that, I have my two pieces. Now I'm just going to twist. And I'm just going to twist. Now, one thing that I failed to mention, the first twist, is with this hair, you have to make sure that you twist to the right, okay? You have to twist to the right. So I'm twisting to the right. Twisting to the right is going to lock in the twist. You cannot twist to the left. And I will show you why you can't twist to the left after I finish these examples, okay? You have to twist the hair to the right. So as you see, I'm twisting to the right. And again, I'm going to twist all the way down. Until I can't twist anymore. And I'm going to show you why this is important as well. So this is the 16-inch Afro twist hair. But as you see, once we break it in half and twist all the way down, it's giving us a lot of length, okay? So that's your second twist. I'm pretty sure that one was way easier than the first way I showed. Now I'm going to show you an even easier way. And this is with a rubber band. Now I know some people say, well, you shouldn't be braiding with rubber bands because rubber bands break your hair off. That is true if the rubber band is installed too tight and if it's installed the wrong way. So I'm going to show you how to properly put this in so that you are not experiencing breakage, okay? So now you have your section. You're going to take your rubber band. The key with rubber bands to keep it from breaking is, number one, how many times you twist that rubber band in, okay? So we're going to do 4 times. So I'm going to put it in, twist 1, twist 2, twist 3, twist 4. That is it. And if you see up close, let me see, that rubber band is still loose. It's not tight. It's not pulling at the scalp. That's what you want to do. You don't need to twist it more than 4 times. That's it, okay? So I put that rubber band at the tip. I'm going to get my other piece of Afro twist hair. Again, this is 1 piece. I'm going to split it in half because this is going to give me 2 twists. 2 twists, all right? So now that I have that, I'm going to use my crochet needle again. So again, open it up. I'm going to insert it. I am going to have that latch open, insert the hair, close the latch, and pull it through. Once I pull it through and I get my loop, I am going to hold one end down and I'm going to pull the other so that I can have should be able to move that hair up and down just like this. All right, so now that I have this in, again, you can lay that hair forward. And at this point, when you put your crochet needle in, if that rubber band got a little loose, you can tighten it a little bit by just splitting it in half and pulling it just a little bit, not too tight, okay? If you start seeing that scalp red, bumpy, and it looks like it's pulling, it's too tight. You're going to cut the rubber band. That's another reason why hair breaks off with rubber bands. You are going to cut the rubber band. So if you cut the rubber band, you're going to insert your scissors on the rubber band and you're just going to glide it. You're not going to chop. Because if you take those scissors and you go in and you chop, you risking cutting the hair. You're not going to do that. You're going to leave the scissors open. You're going to go into that rubber band, glide it up, and then that rubber band is going to break. Do it again, okay? That's if that rubber band is too tight. But if you do it the 4 times, like I told you, no more than 4 times, that rubber band is going to be nice and loose, okay? So now that you have your rubber band in, you're going to split that hair into 2 pieces. Split that hair in half because you need 2 even pieces. And then you're going to pair that with your extensions hair. And then you are going to twist. And again, I'm twisting to the right. Now notice I have not used any product, okay? I have not used any product with doing this, all right? Now, you can use braiding gel at the root only, okay? At the root. So, I'm going to do one more at the top above this with some braiding gel. And then I might cover brick layering a little bit so you know what that's like, okay? But as you notice, I have not used any product with these twists. I generally, when I do two-strand twists with hair added, I do not use a lot of product while I'm twisting. When I finish the style, that's when I'll go in with my honey almond foam or my foam of choice, and then I will seal in the style. But I do not twist with foam when I'm adding hair, because the added hair is going to do the job for you. You don't need a lot of product. So as you see, those are 3 different ways that you can add your two-strand twist with hair added. One with a braid at the root. The next one, the client's hair braided at the root. Crochet the Afro kinky hair in and twist. And then the last one with a rubber band and crochet the Afro kinky hair and then twist it down. So those are 3 different ways that you can add two-strand twists with hair added. Now, the goal for Mommy and Me is to help you at home to be able to get salon-like quality styles at home. However, I'm not expecting it to look like me, as if I did it, because, you know, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time. So, don't worry if yours do not look exactly like mine. Trust me, these styles take time. They take practice. So please give yourself grace if this is your first time doing it. Trust me, this hair is going to work for you. All you have to do is get it in to where it's not sliding out. If you can get it in to where it's not sliding out, trust and believe, the older that this gets, the better it's going to look, okay? So, again, we're not aiming for perfection. If it's your first time, it takes time. So, be patient with yourself, okay? Now, I did spray some leave-in conditioner on this mannequin's hair because she's a little... Mannequin heads are just a lot different than human hair, so... let's just keep it that way, okay? So I'm going to teach you a little bit about brick layering when you come to parting, all right? I'm going to do a separate video, but I'm going to just give you a quick tip because we're doing it right now. So as you see, I had 3 rows right here. When you brick layer, you want a twist in between the parts to make it look fuller, okay? So because I need to make sure I have a twist in this part and in this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split, and I know it's not even, but hopefully you get the concept. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a part in between this twist that's in the middle, all right? So now that I have that in between, I'm going to divide this so that this twist is going to sit right there in the middle. This is going to be on the outside, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side, okay? And this is just going to create a fuller look so that your parts are not spacey and the style looks full. This is called brick layering. All right. So this time I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to do less explaining. Now I have my other piece of hair. This one I am going to braid at the root. So I'm going to take my hair, split it in half. I got 1, 2, 3 pieces. And this time I'm going to add a little product at the base just so you can see what it looks like with adding product at the base. Now, I don't necessarily always add product at the base. It just depends on the client's hair and the look that they are going for. But if you want a more uniform look, then you are going to apply product at the base. Just like that on all 4 corners. Remember, always comb out your product once you put it in. All right. And I'm going to take my hair again. 1, 2, 3 pieces. And now I am going to braid this in at the tip. Once I find my 2 twist pieces that I broke in half, I'm gonna bring them back together. Twist, and then I'm going to twist to the right. And as you see, this gives me a cleaner look as opposed to when I did not use any product. And I'm going to continue to twist down until I can't twist anymore. And boom, there you have it. So moving up close, as you see, this just gives a cleaner look as opposed to this one. All right, now I'm going to do the braid. Not all the way down. Get my hair. Split it in half. Get my crochet needle. Insert it in. Make sure the latch is open. Insert my hair, close the latch, pull up. Hold one side, pull the other. Should be able to move the hair up and down. And make sure that it's even. Lay that hair up. I'm going to sandwich that in between. Just like that. And then I am going to twist. Now, depending on the size of your parts. So if you want to do twists that are bigger than this, then instead of splitting the hair, the afro hair in half, you can use a whole piece. But if you use a whole piece, that is for a bigger twist. So if you want bigger twists, you can use a whole piece. If you want to do smaller twists, you can break up the afro kinky hair into 3 or 4 pieces. But breaking it in half is like my favorite, like medium size. Now, if you don't know by now, I don't do a lot of small braids anymore. I've been in the game for a long time and I just don't do small, teeny tiny braids. But if that's what you choose to do, you can also split up that afro kinky hair in smaller sections. So you can use a whole piece for one twist. That's going to be your larger, bulkier twist. Or you can split it in half for a medium twist like this. Or you can do it in 3s or 4 for smaller. Okay? Now, the last few tips I want to give you before I head on out is I wait until I finish the whole head before I go in to clip the ends. Now, when I clip the ends, it is because once you finish twisting all the way to the ends, you're going to have these little pieces that are going to be hanging from the twist of the extra hair, just like that. We don't want it to look like that, right? We want it to look uniform. We want it to look like there's no hair added. We want it to look like it's their hair, right? So what we're going to do at the end, I wait until I finish the whole style. And then I go back on each twist and I cut. But I do not cut straight across. I cut at a diagonal. So if you cut at a diagonal, it just makes it stay longer. If you cut straight across, then you may risk it unraveling. This hair will coil for you if you twist it the right way. You have to twist it to the right. You cannot twist it to the left. If you twist it to the left, you are not going to get this spring look, okay? You have to twist to the right. So if you are not familiar with twisting to the right, you may want to practice learning how to twist to the right before you try to add hair, because if you're twisting the wrong way, you are not going to get these results, okay? So I cut it at a diagonal. Cut it at a diagonal. Cut it at a diagonal, okay? Cut at a diagonal. One more thing. Let's just say, Sierra, I bought this hair and it's a little bit long and I want to make it a little bit shorter. You can. You can cut this hair shorter and you do not have to worry about it unraveling. That's why I love it, right? But before we do that, we have to make sure, again, that we're cutting at a diagonal. So let's just say I want to do a little bit past the shoulders. I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to cut at a diagonal. If you wait until the end, you do not have to worry about this hair unraveling. That's why I love it. It's not going to unravel. So I'm cutting at a diagonal. I'm not cutting straight across. If you cut straight across, it may unravel on you. All right. So if I have to end up cutting the hair shorter, let's just say it's too long for them, I always go back with a pump of my foam of choice and I just twirl the ends on my fingers just to help seal it even more. And when I do that, it just seals it and it's just going to give me some extra security that it's not going to unravel. See? And that's what I do. And then when you finish your twist, always take your foam, seal your style, take a blow dryer or sit them underneath a hooded dryer, let them dry, and voila. You have two-strand twists with hair added. Easy peasy. All right? So, again, be patient with yourself. I gave you 3 different ways. I'm saying 2. I gave you 3 different ways of how to add two-strand twists with hair added. You have the braid at the root with your extension hair. You have braiding the natural hair, crocheting the Afro twist hair and twisting. And then you have the rubber band method. Remember, twist that rubber band 4 times. That is it. And yeah, I hope this was very helpful. I enjoyed teaching you all, and until next time, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, share it with moms everywhere, y'all. It's my goal to just make sure that any mom that has a daughter, that they are able to upkeep their daughter's hair at home. That is my goal. Save you some coins. We know this economy is doing everything that it wants to do, and we are going to be prepared that when we step out of the house, we're not looking like what we're going through. Okay? And these techniques are helping you not only on your kids, but on your hair too. Push come to shove, you're going to know how to do your hair and how to achieve a style in your hair. And show your kids too. That's how they learn. I started when I was about 9 years old and doing mannequins. Purchase your kids a mannequin head. You'll be surprised at how much they can learn and how much they can catch on very quickly. And before you know it, they'll be doing your hair. All right. I love y'all. Until next time.